somewhere else to try their luck in a new and exciting, sometimes dangerous place, they risk everything for an ideal. We Americans stand together humbly to admire the triumph of liberty over tyranny, of freedom over slavery, and of justice over discrimination. We honor those who fought for an ideal today. Many of our families came to America with nothing more than a dream they could build a better world for their families. They had come from places where governments built fortresses of power and wealth and privilege. Some of our families came to America against their will, as slaves. They too dreamt of a day when justice would prevail and those of conscience would vanquish the selfish. Americans built too. But Americans built mansions of truth, justice, and wisdom. We know them as courts and schools and libraries, and they exist for the good of us all. We rejected the notion of a class system. We rejected social elitism. We rejected inequality. And to do less now is to dishonor the ideals of those that built this nation. We are now at a crossroads. The powerful, the wealthy, and the privileged are building their fortresses again, protecting their power and sheltering their assets. They will play shell games with your emotions. They will promise you fortune. And they will tell you whatever horror story will convince you of their rightness. We must look past the snake oil cure-all. We must resist the lure of something for nothing. We must proudly embrace our American legacy and the ideal of truth, justice, and wisdom for all. We Virginians stand here today as equals because Washington, Jefferson, Madison, Monroe, and Wilson believed that vision would triumph over cynicism. Wisdom would banish worry, and hope would overcome fear. They knew, as we do, in our heart of hearts, that we all do better when we all do better. We Virginians know there is no harvest without a planting. We accept the challenge that each generation brings with the knowledge that every generation has preceded us with the same doubts about the future. We take strength in the courage they showed. We honor their hard work with our resolve not to back away from our responsibilities. Now, we face challenges in healthcare, education, transportation, and economic development. The real question is whether we solve these problems now or pass them on to our children. The answer is an easy one for a Virginian. We must work together to leave this valley better for our being here. After all, our ancestors confronted far tougher problems and found the courage to heal them. I stand here before you a reluctant candidate. I did not seek this job out and have no political career ambition. My fellow citizens approached me and they appealed to my sense of responsibility. I have been a fortunate man. I am blessed with a wonderful and loving family. And an enjoyable business. I respect that the quality of life in this valley has helped make that so. I wondered if we could win. But I also wondered if we could make a difference. Months of study have convinced me that with your support, we can do both. I did not enter this race today without the support of my family. And I will be honest with you when I tell you that we knew this task today was going to be a time-consuming and far from easy. The campaign we are launching is akin to pitting a lemonade stand against Pepsi-Cola. We are up against wealth, power, and privilege. We are up against people who wish to reduce us to red and blue. They want to reduce us to demographics and poll numbers. I ask you today to vote for your hopes and not for your fears.
Yes.
We do not stand here alone. In everything around us today, there are signs of the guiding hands of our forebears. Men and women who wish to leave the valley a better place for all Virginians. We must continue our support of public schools, public lands, public libraries, universities, and museums. Our ancestors found a way to build a future of truth, justice, and wisdom. And so will we. So will we. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for coming out today. Please help yourself to a cold soda, a bag of chips, or a donut. Come and talk. Tell me what's on your mind.